The showcase of the best players in the NFL is coming up as we celebrate the latest edition of the Pro Bowl. The stars of the AFC and NFC are ready to shine. Next on EA Sports.
This is a very special presentation of EA Sports in the National Football League as we come to you from the stadium where the legendary coach and our namesake John Madden once paced the sidelines. This is the Coliseum in Oakland, and it will play host to the annual AFC-NFC Pro Bowl, part of the Pro Bowl games. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
On display, the NFL Pro Bowl is underway. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So out comes the NFC for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sense that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
First play, and Purdy wants to throw it. Pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. Roquan Smith charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early second down and long. They'll send a receiver in motion left. And now a fake on a jet sweep, but instead they'll give it to McCaffrey. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on third down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. Purdy now to throw. And that is incomplete. And the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Taken right around the 44. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it'll be a short field ahead as the AFC takes over, 1st and 10. The AFC heading out. A lot of stars to choose from over that conference, but their starter at quarterback, it's Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front They won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now Jackson on second down. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Jackson now. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. That's going to bring up fourth down. Only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, he might be the best kicker the game's ever seen. And we've seen him hit from 66, which is the all-time record. But anything 60-plus, that's a very low percentage kick. Don't tell him he doesn't believe it. But this one winds up no good.
So now we'll get our second look in this game at the NFC offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Purdy. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Now a 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to put that first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
First catch so far by Chase. It's a first down.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
In motion, Hill. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Throwing is Jackson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They go play action with Jackson. Rolling, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. Here now the NFC to take over on offense. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Now Purdy connects with Kittle underneath, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Here comes 3rd down at 7. Out of the gun, Purdy. That's caught. Puka Nacua. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st down, Purdy.
Got him in, it's well.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got him.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Shotgun now with Purdy. This will be caught just inside the 10. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. In motion, Hill. Jackson on 1st down. That one complete to Hill. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Now it's Jackson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Jackson to throw. Bind, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. But Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down.
Now, how about that play right there? Party, remember I told you about the home run hitter theory that someone told me years ago?
What's that?
Meaning a guy who hits home runs in the major leagues, go back and trace what he did all the way growing up, probably hit home runs at every level. That's just who he is. Well, this guy sacked people all during the regular season. Why wouldn't he do the same thing here in the Pro Bowl?
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, here comes Mostert. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Purdy looking to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. And en route, going into a little bit of traffic, maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Purdy will set up to throw it here. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. He's got room past the 30. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front. Completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
There's Purdy on 1st and 10. Able to hit his target Lamb. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
2nd and 7. Throwing here, Purdy. Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it. And he's got this down to the 35. The result of 1st down is a quick slant gets him 14.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Down to about the 32. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Purdy now to throw. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt, and he missed it. It's no good, and that will keep this a 3-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The AFC offense making their way back out. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. Down the sideline he goes. And finally wrestled down at the 11. A big play there on the catch and run. 44 yards.
And Tyreek Hill, one of the elite receivers in the league, and keeping defensive backs awake at night trying to figure out how they're going to cover this guy. And then, when the ball hits his hands, I don't know that there's anyone better in the league after the catch.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The AFC with a football here to begin the second quarter. Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3. As they've got it as we resume action. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, here's Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
They're going to go for it now, 4th and 2. Remember, they can still get the first down at the 1-yard line, though. Now Jackson. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Travis Kelce from 3 yards out. And the AFC has taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. So he missed his lone field goal try, but he's got this one as that extends their lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From his end zone, here's Rashid Shaheed. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here now the NFC to take over on offense. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through.
There he goes offside. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Justin Simmons of the Broncos there on the tackle.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 10. Purdy from the gun. Connects with Kittle underneath. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Purdy. And this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage there by the AFC defense. It's 4th down.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
4th down try. Here's Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for them, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The AFC about ready to take over on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run the draw with Mostert. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just lob one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football. On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Back out is the AFC offense. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. Now Jackson on 2nd down. Getting this out to the flat. Mostert And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And now Mostert is going to be stopped up short. He did not get there.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here now the NFC to take over on offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On first down, Purdy. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Back to throw, Purdy. Going to be taken in here by Nakula. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Purdy. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Purdy. And this is going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the NFC. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The AFC set to take over on offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Now Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
The NFC offense heading back onto the field. They've got the ball in a great spot here, already inside the red zone following that fumble recovery. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Purdy. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he is in. Touchdown NFC. Christian McCaffrey. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the NFC has retaken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that'll make this a 6-point game. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Speedster Raheem Mostert and the rest of this offense out to start the drive. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker. And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
The AFC thus far on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 38 now, here's a 2nd and 7. Jackson. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Jackson Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
They go play action now. Jackson to the sideline and incomplete.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Mostert, toss left side. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. On 3rd down, Jackson. That is caught. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. In motion, Hill. Jackson on 1st down. Open man is Hill. He's got it. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Second down and 4. Now it's Jackson. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Micah Parsons, his 2nd sack of the night. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Short throw hauled in by Kelce. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now it's Jackson. Ooh, with a juke. Well, almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try it now with Mostert. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Jackson. The quick slant caught. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their 2nd. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Jackson now. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Keenan Allen as the first half is winding down. And his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead.
We've been together a few years, and you know that I really ride the wave of old momentum, don't I?
Yes, you do.
There is a heck of a difference between being down 6 and possibly being up 1. And right now, they've got that opportunity.
No doubt. That is a big-time score and a big-time swing in momentum. Tucker with the extra point, and that will give him the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we have hit halftime of the Pro Bowl with the AFC leading the NFC. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a one-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
In motion, Hill. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Hill. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
A gain of 5 brings us 2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Here's Jackson. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive. A third down gain of 8.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Again, Jackson. On target over the middle to Hill.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches. In motion, Hill. They'll fake the jet sweep. And now it's Jackson off play action. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 36 yards on the play. He had one touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Here's Mostert. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with second and goal coming up.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on first and goal.
Second and goal from the 1. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Tyreek Hill, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Tucker now for the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the second half. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Justin Simmons of the Broncos there on the tackle.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's second and 5 now from the 22. And quickly to the outside, that's caught by Lamb. Only able to gain a couple there, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Purdy now to throw off the play action. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He really continues to pick apart this defense. Last drive, perfect, and it culminated in his 3rd touchdown pass.
As long as we've been doing this, how many times has a player in this type of a zone described the game as really slowed down?
Yep.
So right now, instead of warp speed,
snail's pace.
Oh, snail's pace for him, and he can do whatever he wants. Feels like he has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and his offensive line has been giving him that.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 42 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times for passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On 1st down, they go with Mostert again. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in the stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his 2nd drop, indeed, not a good look. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 7 catches for him now in this last one. A 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action. Now Jackson. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. Touchdown! Travis Kelsey. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the AFC adds on to their lead. The partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this night's lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, here's Rashid Shaheed. And he returns this to the 22. The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times.